What is up, guys? Scott from Four Low Photo, and today it's a little chilly here in Florida. It's a little brisk, you know, it's in the 40s, so in Florida for us that's freezing. So, you know, figured it's a good day to get these racks installed on here. So these are roof racks. They're gonna go up on top on the back side. Since I have the soft part, best top soft rider up front, sun rider up front, they can only really go in the back, but I still think they'll be useful to put kayaks back there, or at least the paddle boards from over there. Regardless, we're gonna check it out and see how they look and fit and how the install goes. So let's go. All right, I'm excited and filming with my first thing with my METAs. Today we're gonna install a Kangari, I think I said that right, roof racks on the Gladiator. I'm very excited to try these guys out, give us something to put the kayaks and paddle boards up top. And I already started to open this guy. Let's take a look at what we got here. All right, looks pretty nice packaging. All right, let's see what we got. Got a couple of roof racks. All right, seems like everything shouldn't be too bad. Check it out, assemble these guys. Alrighty, let's see what we got here. We got the rear bar, or I guess, yeah, rear bar, labeled as such. And this should be the front bar. Sure is. All right, they look pretty similar, so I guess make sure you're paying attention to your labels there. All right, just taking a look here before I even start reading. I can tell these have a nice rubber padding here and here and a foam padding here, so it looks like that's going to go in the drip rail there. That piece is going to go on there, and your bolt is going to install like that. Tighten that down, and that's before I even get started. So yeah, just trying to check the fitment, make sure that we got the right thing. So you got the nice foam protecting the rail there and the rubber protecting there. All right, let's see what we got here. What else do we got here? Okay. Got some extra foam protection there. It's got some end mounts, I'm assuming. And we got some tools and some spare bolts. That's nice. Always good to have some spares. So yeah, we got a bunch of rights. Bunch of lefts. Cool. All right, so the first step, what they want you to do is to take these bases and put them on here. And you can see there's a nice little channel right there, and then you loosen these guys up and they're gonna slide right into the channel there. You don't wanna tighten these yet because you're gonna have to adjust to the width of your vehicle since they do work for other ones. So once that goes on there, you can see how that slides around really nice. So just give them a little snug down, and then we'll go ahead and put our end cap on there. Clearly that's not the right one. Find the appropriate one, and we'll get that end cap popped on there. And there, and it looks like they just pop right on there. So that's nice, just kind of give it a nice finish. And then that guy's on there, and I'll be able to adjust perfectly to the width of my roof. You can tell which cap goes on which way. Obviously I didn't notice that at first, that this is gonna fit directly on there. So yeah, let's make sure we get this guy, next one on there, and also make sure you're putting them to the outside, so putting them the appropriate facing direction. And once you get those on there, then we'll go ahead and put this end cap on as well. There we go. Got these guys flipped around and installing the other sides on there. Just keep repeating the same process. Get these guys nice in that channel, and they slide right on there, really nice. Loosen it up, just make sure you don't have it too loose so that falls out, because then you'll just have to pop that end cap back off and get that guy on there. But yeah, they seem to slide in there real nice once you get the square lined up. Look at that. All right, get these end caps on here. All right, and that is good for the first step or the start of the process. Is we got these guys all on there, and now we can test for our width and see how these things are gonna go on there and what else we need. All right, so this is a very important process. In the Gladiator, you have a lot less surface room. They don't want you to attach the removable panels, even if they are your hard top Freedom panels. So even though I have this, if I had the hard ones on there, you couldn't do it anyway. So they only want you to attach to this. Guess that makes sense. When you're cinching down a kayak or something up top, you wouldn't want the Freedom panels to be able to flip up. So just make sure you're keeping these on the non-removable part of the roof up there. Good to know. All right, it's time to get this guy in place. So yeah, there's a rear one and a front one. So this is the rear one, and then you can see this is the front of the vehicle facing direction. So we'll just gently place this guy up here and try and get our fitment going. All right, I like the way that's looking already. See, you have the room. Oh yeah, that'll be nice. Just adjust that guy to length and we'll get these guys tightened down. All right, now that we have this on there, let's see the best way to go about this is. So I've taken the bolt off of here. If you want to fit that in there and fit on there, it seems like this is going to be a little difficult, but we'll figure it out. Oh, that's not bad at all. Once you find out where that thread is. So you got a little bit of play, so if you take your thumb and push a little bit forward, that's when you're able to get that guy to actually grip in there. And I probably don't want it all the way back, so I'm going to scoot it up a little bit to get a little bit more meat to grab onto there. And we're going to loosely start the other side. All right, once again, we're going to repeat that process. Being delicate here so we don't damage any of the hard top, and place that somewhat into place there. So yeah, we can't go over here. And I imagine you're gonna have a tough time putting that back. So you might not run the front rack if we're gonna be putting that back, but it's a little cold out right now, so I'm not gonna be taking the top off because this one does fold back. But I think that'll at least give us a good enough placement to be able to put something on top, or at least support from the rear. All right, get this guy in position, slide that over, and repeat that same process. Put that under there, give it a little bit of pressure. And there you go. Look at that. Boom. Expert already. So yeah, I'm gonna make sure these guys are at the same length, and then I'll start getting this stuff tightened down with the included tool. And then they do give you these pads, which I believe they want you to place under here once you get your length cut properly, to make sure that I guess just a little bouncing around and a little wind noise it'll cut down when you do some of these foam pads. So yeah, let's get this guy measured up and tightened down. All right, what do we got here? We'll make that an even 3 inches. All right, so I got the front 3 and the back 2. Don't want to go too hard here because you don't want to hurt your, make sure you damage that. We'll make sure it's tied down good, but you don't want to, you know, use an impact or be going too crazy to damage your fiberglass hardtop there. Give this guy a couple more turns. Looking good. Don't want that to fly off in traffic. You know, that would be bad. So yeah, we definitely need to tighten them up a little bit more. Not sure if they've got an actual torque spec on there, but a couple of Ugga-Duggas should do it good. That's not going anywhere. All right, come on this side. We got our 2 inches. Got our 3 inches. All right, we are good to tighten down this side as well. And the last thing we gotta do is tighten down the brackets up here. All right, this is what it looks like from the roof. So you got ample clearance there. Got to make sure we're even left to right here, and then we will tighten these guys down. Make sure we got 2 inches there. Not so much. That guy over a little bit there. And we'll start tightening these down. Start by hand. Got these guys measured up, so we'll come on this side and tighten them by hand. First, this is where I think they want you to get those strips on there first, but I'm gonna make sure I get it all set up and make sure I like it and everything's the way I want it to be before I go ahead and take those back off and put those foam pads in there. So I'm gonna put it all together first, and let's hope that actually happens, because a lot of times I won't go back. But that's the way you're supposed to do it, and you know, trying to show what the right way to do it, the proper way. Tighten. Again, I got all the power tools, but we're trying to do this the right way as well, just by hand with the provided tools, so that we don't break anything or strip anything. Just as I was saying that little tool actually stripped out. So I got the 12mm. I'm just being gentle with it, not going too crazy, still not using power tools. But we'll go ahead and at least get these guys tightened down a little faster. Yeah, it's feeling a lot better than that tiny little tool. Alright, this side snug down. Guys, we're very loose. Okay, I lied. Yeah, don't use their little tool. Use an actual 12mm. It's way better. That guy was sliding around on these and was just gonna strip them. No power tools, but a hand ratchet. Good to go. Should be smart. Yeah, feels good now. All right, as I was standing up here, there's one thing I realized, so then I went to look at their strips. They're wanting you to attach things like to the car, so there isn't anywhere to actually, that I would trust putting a hook to, especially a ratchet strap. I would even feel more comfortable if I had the windows down to one run around here, because it is a relatively thin aluminum, so it is going to give you, you know, it's going to give you the brace that you need here, but there isn't like actual hooks like you would need to on other kinds of racks to put down. So you're going to have to be mindful of that. You can't go, you know, can't go crazy with it. But yeah, so they're on there, and let's see what a load looks like on this guy. You can see it doesn't affect the door at all, so that's nice. Yeah, looking good. All right, now that they're on there, I guess first thing we'll test is a load. So let's see, grab this surfboard here before I got the kayak to try out. See if this was an application that I would want to use for this. So I don't know if I'd go a long distance like that to the beach, but it is kind of cool. Shows you what it would look like. That, I think I'd be comfortable with that amount of wind up going there. My issue is now is trying to strap this thing down. Like I said, you don't have a whole lot of way to work with as far as ratchet straps, but I do like the way it looks, and I do like the way that is going to function. Here's what it looks like from the top with something on. All right, yeah, it's looking good. Yeah, like I said, I think I would probably put the windows down. I'd strap it around that way to feel comfortable with having an area to attach to, because you wouldn't want to go too crazy on here. But yeah, look good. So here's my other idea. I just want to see what this guy looks like up there. Not really sure how it's situated, but see, so I've used this hitch rack in the back here, kind of get me the same level, and I can raise or lower that just to know if this type of application will work for this. So let's see how this is going to go. does appear for it to work that it would have to be the other way. That's a little higher. So let's get this guy a little lower. See how this goes. Stick this up here on the bar there. Yeah, I think that's the way it would work. So it would be on the rear one. Yeah, I think I could figure out a way to mount all that. Coming down to these nice hooks here. Take this off and have the straps in the bed. Then I feel like I would be comfortable with that guy up there like that and have room for cargo in there. Pretty nice. So there you go, already shown a couple different uses. Quick and easy install, look like they'll just as easy to take off if I need them for whatever reason or want to take the top all the way off. Finding a tie down solution seems to be the biggest problem about them, but I'm sure if you're creative you could figure something out. Like I said, with this I would definitely use these guys down here and those over there and run around that way, and this way I would definitely use the roll cage with the windows down going this way. But yeah, great looking little bars, and really happy to get some use out of these guys and continue our adventures with them. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and let me know if you pick up a set of these bars. Also, sorry if I sound like I'm dying, just getting over the flu here, so you know, and it's cold outside, but I wanted to go ahead and get this video made for you guys and show these things off. But yeah, just you know, didn't want anyone to worry, not actually dying. Also, do know, let me how this looks and sounds. This one's my iPhone, but this is the first thing that I was filming on the METAs. I've got me some METAs for Christmas, and they've actually been really useful for trying to do install videos, so I'm very curious how the quality and audio is going to be. But yeah, let me know how that sounds. And again, thanks again guys for watching For a Little Photo. Check you later. On the METAs, I've got me some METAs for Christmas, and they've actually been really useful for trying to do install videos, so I'm very curious how the quality and audio is going to be. But yeah,